This video is part 2 in a 3-part series designed to introduce you to the true workflow. In my last video, I discussed how to create a schedule on the calendar, how to create a lead from that schedule, and how to upgrade that lead to a quote. In this video, I'm going to discuss how to go over a quote and how to access that quote from the calendar, and how to also provide a estimate proposal that you can then email directly to a customer. And additionally, I'm going to introduce the True Fence app, how to create a clean and concise drawing, and how to select all of the materials to then populate into True. So to start this drawing, I'm going to first discuss how to access this quote from the calendar. If I hit the lightning bolt and go to my calendar, I want to pull up the schedule that I have on the calendar. So I can click on that, select the gear icon, select edit, and then click into the job contract work ticket field. That'll automatically pull up the quotes module, and I can dive right into the quote. So to get to the fence application, I'm going to go to options and select my optional app. On the development copy, you'll see that it'll ask me for a couple different things. It'll be different on your screen, so just disregard that. But I will be brought to the True Fence app. From here, there's a few things to note, but all you need to know is that you have different selections that you can organize, and you have your drawing app. So I'm going to select a new drawing and really do a simple drawing here. The first thing that I'm going to do, make sure that I have the correct grid size by navigating to my settings. The standard is about 170 feet, which should cover most residential properties, but if you need to adjust that, you can. Additionally, if you need a little extra space, you can scroll down so that you have some room to work with. If you draw a fence line here, it might be cut off. But we'll go to my tools and we will start with a fence line. So I'll go to fences. I have existing, tear out, and a fence line. Tear out can be attached to tear out pricing and automatically calculate based on the price that you can put in, or you have your fence lines. Existing obviously will calculate the existing fence, but there's no pricing attached or that needs to be attached to that. So I'm going to select fence. I'm going to do my back fence line, and I'm going to just stick with a really simple drawing here so that you can get an idea, and we can discuss different scenarios. So say there's 12 feet on 15 on that side. I need to draw a house, and all I'm doing is placing my first point and then placing my second point by clicking. So I'm going to draw a house here, and I can go to objects, and I have a lot of different options here. So I'm going to draw a little patio in the back, a driveway up front, and then a little tree on the corner. Additionally, I can add different things like text. Go around tree, and I can move that by clicking in the middle. Then I can add gates. I have my single 4, 5, and 6, and I have double drive 8, 10, and 12. Any variable sizes outside of that, and your different slide gates. So for this, I'm going to do a single gate. And this shows the orientation of the gate if you were to place it on the respective fence line. So if I wanted to put a gate on the back line here, and I wanted that to hinge right and swing out, I would select this one. And what this does is it will segment this line into 2 different segments, and it'll delete the width of the gate. So this section is 32, this is 22, and it'll delete this 4-foot section and replace it with a 4-foot gate. So additionally, you have other features such as an arrow tool that you can use to kind of point, and you have a selector items such as resize that allows you to resize certain lines or objects. Additionally, you can go into your edit panel, and what this shows you are your different placements of objects on the map. So if I select this first one, you'll see this is highlighted. That's a 28-foot segment. In here, I can change the color, I can hide the measurements, or I can make any footage changes and modify that through there. If I need to delete this section, I can. Additionally, I can for my existing, hide the measurements and save those. And I can close this out and my drawing is complete. I can also adjust the font size. I recommend doing this after the drawing is complete so you don't mess with anything, and then you'll hit save. You'll get a prompt that says that the drawing has been saved and to click the refresh icon within TrueFence. So at this point I can close this out. I'm simply just going to hit this refresh icon. And at this stage you'll see that I have a new selection. Anytime you save a drawing, you'll generate a new selection, so you don't have to worry about saving over old quotes. So for example, if I know now that I want to provide this customer with the same layout but a different material, I can simply go to this gear icon and select duplicate, and it'll duplicate this exactly as you have it laid out. I need to provide 2 quotes, so I'm going to rename this one by going to the gear icon, selecting aluminum, and then I can go over to the selection, do the same for this one, and this is going to be vinyl. Now I have 2 separate workable quotes that I can then organize further and add materials. And at this stage, what you're going to do is combine your like components and products. So if my existing fence, I want to show up all in one workable line item. So I'm going to go to the gear icon here and select combine same item. You'll see that combine those 2 sections, 27 feet. And I can, since I have all of this is going to be the same product, it's very simple. All you have to do is hit the gear icon, select combine same item. Now if you needed to, for example, have a section up front of a different height, you have the ability to do that. For example, if I wanted to resize this, this likely wouldn't be the best way to do that, but for this example I can add a fence line here, and this is going to be 4 foot tall. So I resave this drawing, go to the new selection, and instead of combining all the same items, I'm gonna look for this 5 foot section. It's gonna be right here. So the rest of these I'm gonna select, and I'm gonna hit combine. So now I have a 5 foot section and I have a 103 foot section that I can then select products for. So what that means is that all of this is 6 foot tall and this is whatever the other height is. However, I will stick with the initial quote and we'll go ahead and generate a e-form. So at this point I need to select my product, so I'm going to go to category, select aluminum, and input my product, and you'll see here that it generated my lines, corners, and ends. All of this is set up in the catalog, as well as the concrete and caps for those respective posts. To clean this up a little bit, I can go to this gear icon, select combine same sub item, and you'll see that'll combine it all into one workable quote. And then additionally I can add a gate. This will be an aluminum gate, and it's a two rail aluminum gate. So now I have my gate, I have my panels, and this quote should be complete once I generate those items. Now I'll go to my second one and do the same thing. Combine my fence lines, combine my existing fence, and add my product. This time it is a vinyl fence and a vinyl gate. So both of these quotes are now done. I can start to generate the e-forms. This process, you will have to do them one by one. However, when you generate the items, you will be able to save a copy of the e-form so that you don't have to regenerate them once you lose them. So I'm going to generate these items. You'll see here that it brought this over into true. I have 180 feet of black aluminum. First thing I'm going to want to do is type in the description here, install comes with one forfeit gate. I'm going to click out of here to make sure that saves. And what this does is when I generate this eForm, I want to essentially have a title for that eForm so I can easily recognize it when I view it in the Files, Emails, Notes section. So if I select eForm, I go to the quote items eForm and select generate, it's going to automatically populate the description field, which will further categorize that. Now at this stage, you can set up all of your, fill out all this information, make sure it's correct. You can set up these defaults, and we can teach you how to do that in a welcome call. But for the time being, I want to add the drawing that I created. So I'm going to go to step 3, go to the images, hit the plus icon, and select an existing document. These are the 2 drawings that I saved. Generally, the first go around, you would only have 1 drawing, but anytime you save a drawing, it'll be recorded here. So I'm going to select the first drawing that I did, and anytime you make a change, you'll want to hit generate. You'll see a second page pop up on this proposal. At this stage, a quote is done. You can either download this file to attach to a separate email if you want to do multiple quotes at one time to send to the customer. You can select this email feature as long as it's set up. You can include an eSign, and this will automatically generate an email and send it directly to the customer, which will include an eSign link that they can click and sign via phone or computer. When they do sign that link, all of that activity will be recorded within the activity log. Additionally, you can generate a standard eSign link and copy and paste that if you have to provide multiple quotes to the customer. However, this email feature is a little bit easier. If I back out here, you'll see this eForm is denoted by the description that I filled out. Install 108 feet of aluminum fence, so I know that that's my aluminum fence quote. If I go back to options into my optional app and I go to my vinyl, I can now generate these. Wait for that to be executed. Once I do that, it'll replace the items that it brought over for the aluminum quote, and now I'll have 108 feet of vinyl. So I can, first thing I do, change my description, make sure that saves, and I'll want to regenerate this eForm. At this stage, I will want to add my drawing, generate that, and either download that or email this. Again, if you want to send multiple quotes, you can simply download these files and attach them to the same email. Once the customer approves of the specific proposal, you can then generate a eSign link by manually clicking into the respective eForm and selecting eSign, which you can generate a link that's valid until this date. Now I have my 2 quotes here. I can refer to them at any time, and additionally I have my selections in my custom app. Now if I need to make a change, I can always log back into this custom app, open the drawing, modify it, and resave it, or I can simply hit this gear icon and duplicate. So I'm going to duplicate all these aluminum products. However, with this particular one, they may need something different, so I can reset that to the base value and do my combinations accordingly. If it's all the same material, it's nice and easy, and you can just select a new material. If you need to modify the drawing, you can do the other version where you open up the drawing and resave it to create a new selection. You'll always want to make sure that you rename those selections. For example, if I wanted this one, I can rename that revised quote. And once I select my products, generate and go through the same process, making sure to fill out the description and to generate the eForm. Once that the eForms are eSigned, that will be recorded in the activity log anytime a customer opens it or signs the link. You can also set up your alerts to receive a notification for when that is signed. And at this point, you have successfully sent a quote out. In future videos, I will discuss upgrading that quote to a job and different parts of that workflow that you may be interested in. At the end of that, I hope to have a basis for the true fence workflow within your company. And if you have any questions, make sure to either submit a support ticket by hitting the question mark icon and selecting ticket, or by emailing us. Additionally, we can set up training sessions for you or your company to kind of get you to the end game for this implementation process. With that said, thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy.